A lot of people, or maybe not, may know who Penny Hardaway is. A lot of millennials may not know who Penny Hardaway is. He had a really interesting quote about Kawhi Leonard that I want to go over, and then I'll share my thoughts. About Kawhi Leonard being a superstar is what was asked to him, and he said, superstar? No. Kawhi Leonard is not a superstar because he has no interest in being the face of the league or starring in TV commercials. He's a good player, but I wouldn't consider him a superstar player. So there's two things that we need to take into account, and I'll read it one more time. Kawhi Leonard is not a superstar because he has no interest in being the face of the league. Just because you personally have no interest in being the face of the league, and if anybody asks you a question about it, you deflect your own beliefs in being that thing, it doesn't mean that you can't potentially be or are a top 3-4 player in the league already. The second is he doesn't star in TV commercials. Well, that's actually false. He does, and just on YouTube, the commercial has over 2 million views. Take a look.
Gravity has been rejected. From Jordan.
So I guess what I personally do not understand is that Penny Hardaway is penalizing Kawhi Leonard for just not even being the face of the league, because we all know he's not. LeBron James is the face of the league, and Stephen Curry is the face of the league. And the torch has been passed down from one player to another, with Jordan to Kobe to LeBron, and now when LeBron is departing, it's going to be Steph's for a little and what have you. Nonetheless, Kawhi Leonard is a superstar. What I personally don't understand, and I hope a lot of you don't understand as well, is why Penny Hardaway is penalizing a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who is very soft-spoken, as we know, a guy who doesn't like to be in the limelight. He is penalizing Kawhi for not being a media commercial endorsement whore. Kawhi likes to be a Tim Duncan and a perfect example. A Tim Duncan-like player who lets his game do the talking. He likes being a Larry Fitzgerald guy, where his game does the talking. Kawhi Leonard likes being a Gale Sayers, who lets his game do the talking. He likes being a Sidney Crosby-like player, where his game does the talking. I know Mike Trout is hyped up, but he doesn't go out of his way to try and grab headlines here and there. These are the players who not only, as I said, let their game do the talking, but they are the antithesis of the sort of drive to always be in the spotlight and the limelight like a LeVar Ball or a Conor McGregor. They don't care for it. So Penny Hardaway, who was a pretty good player when healthy, is saying that Kawhi is not a superstar because of this. Now, he tried clarifying on Instagram. Calm down, people. I never said that Kawhi wasn't a superstar. I know that he is a superstar. I only stated that he doesn't like the media and endorsement side of being a superstar. Best two-way player in the league. He didn't say that. So let's just call a spade a spade. It took him realizing that he was wrong with his initial thoughts that he obviously believed for much time to clarify on Instagram, a different social media platform, than in the interview that he gave on a radio station where he said blatantly that Kawhi Leonard is not a superstar. And the reason he's not a superstar is because of the TV endorsements and doesn't care to be the face of the league, which is just absolute horseshit. Another name is Mariano Rivera. Let his game do the talking. You don't have to strive to be the face of the league by creating headlines and being on everyone's TV or in every YouTube ad or on every banner ad and what have you. It is okay to, I hate to quote LeVar Ball, but to stay in your own lane and create a brand for yourself through your game. There's nothing wrong with that. The other problem with this is he's on the Spurs, and the Spurs are built on what? Team basketball. And not to deteriorate other champions, because obviously Golden State is as well. But the San Antonio Spurs are the model franchise that will never get the love that they deserve, ever. They are the most underappreciated dynasty/franchise in all of professional sports because they do it in, to many fans, a boring fashion. of moving the ball around, not shooting a shit ton of threes, playing great defense. And that's another thing that is going against Kawhi Leonard just in the grand scheme of things for fans, and why he potentially will never be respected as much as I think that he should, especially with a guy like Penny fucking Hardaway, is that he started out on defense. Defense wins championships, but what do people like, especially in the United States? They like seeing points. The NFL hampered defenses in order to score more points. In Major League Baseball, they brought the fences in, which in a way is symbolism of defense, for teams to hit more home runs and just score more. One of the reasons that soccer is not developed in this country as much as it should, because everyone knows how much I love the beautiful game, is that there aren't 5 or 6 or 10 goals a game. There's 1, maybe 2. And Americans are used to scoring points. They see it in football. They see it in the NBA. They don't see it in those respective sports. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, for a guy like Penny Hardaway, who built his entire brand and reputation on not only playing basketball, but also from a toy doll that was narrated by Chris Rock, Lil Penny, that took on a life of its own and sold its own merchandise to help out Penny Hardaway. He is not one to talk, because arguably the commercials were bigger than him in the grand scheme of things. Whereas Kawhi Leonard right now, his game does so many more things than his personal brand does, and I respect him for being that sort of player that talks the talk on the court, walks the walk on the court, and doesn't care about outside factors. Because that is a model player. And not to say, as I take that back, not to say that a guy like Colin Kaepernick isn't, because I've already discussed that. And Michael Bennett, Jason Rubin and I are going to discuss that. I think that those are models for the freedom of speech and the way to take a stand against something, on something. But for Kawhi Leonard to do this and to be deteriorated as not a superstar because he doesn't want to be in the limelight, it's hogwash. And Penny Hardaway, I'm glad that he backtracked on Instagram. And I welcome Penny to come on this show and we could discuss ad nauseum, because he is so incredibly wrong with his comments. Let me know your thoughts. Get at me in the comments section below on what you believe about Penny Hardaway's thoughts and also my thoughts. Get at me on Twitter. Would love to engage with you all at Rick Strom, and subscribe to TYT Sports.